welcome to NXT and TNA review, recap, whatever you want to call this. Basically just us talking.
Our normal rambling bullshit.
Pretty much, yeah. Just us giving our opinions. You know, they might not be worth 2 cents, but
But hey, we're giving it a shot.
Oh, Alexa, turn off speaker.
Okay.
We're professionals, everybody. We remember how to do our stuff. Anyway.
We were watching a couple of the videos.
Yep.
We got.
Anyway, let's start off in WWE Performance Center, Winter Park, Florida. Same place it is. It's pretty much every week except for Stand and Deliver, which
It's a few times they go out. Like,
Ow.
I think the next week they're out.
Yeah. But anyway, our first match of the night is Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page.
And this just started with like 6 people in the ring beating the hell out of each other. I don't know what this was, but
I think it was just them beating the shit out of each other before the bell rings, and then
But anyway, it was just weird. And anyway,
yeah, they basically just start beating the hell out of each other. So the ref has to start ring the bell, and they are real. They are just they're trying to kill each other from the looks of it. Like, these guys have barely even interacted, 3-4 times?
well, here's the thing. And I know this, and this is something I have discussed, and I'm going to be not. You don't have the time. Technically, Knight Rider and me would have the time, but he's getting ready to go to work, so I'm going to be the one. And what I'm going to try to start doing is watching a little bit of AEW, so I kind of know where some of these wrestlers are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what they're doing, more or less, for you guys.
Yep.
So I can be like, yeah, when this person comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I've understood, and you got to understand, I watched AEW probably the first year it was there, was watching AEW until McMahon left.
And WWE started to be good again?
Yes. So I've been out of the loop for however many years now that's been out. Because that was, well, technically, we're still over at the other trailer.
Yeah.
And we've been here too.
So, yeah.
So probably at least 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point is, I'm going to start watching a little bit of AEW. I'm going to try to catch it, record it, whatever. Maybe watch it on HBO Max, which I think they went back to HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
It was HBO Max, and they dropped HBO, and now they went back to HBO Max. It's dumb, but they're on there every week. I am not going to worry too much about the pay-per-views because I'm not going to pay for pay-per-views.
No,
exactly.
If all of us aren't going to watch it, it's pointless. So I will read
what happens, yeah.
Read what happens, yeah. But these two battles in AEW.
Okay.
They were huge rivals in AEW. That's kind of where
this is coming from? Okay. So I did think it was sort of random how they just, boom, hate each other.
Yeah, it's because they're AEW days.
I guess that makes sense. But yeah,
that's kind of why when Ricky came down there, Ethan kind of got an attitude with him, saying he didn't deserve to be there, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, well, you've been here how long? And you still ain't gone up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be here that long, and I'm going to go up. And he's like, not before me, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what, buddy? He went before you. Anyway, but that's real.
But anyway, yeah, they're like I said, outside beating the hell out of each other. You know, they throw each other out over the top rope. Saints kicks Page in the face. Page throws Saints into the steel ring, and then he grabs a steel chair. Ringside security get in the way before he can do anything with it. But then Ava comes out of the woodworks. She goes up to the referee and is like, we need a clear winner tonight.
Yeah.
And basically, it's not a no DQ match, but it's sort of a...
needs to have a little bit of
discretion.
Let them fight as long as it's not...
gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, we're not going to do, don't worry about counting if both of them are out type things.
Yeah.
Let's just say it became a shit show.
Yeah. But like I said, they are beating the shit out of each other. Saints hits Paige with a flying clothesline, and he's just kicking Paige in the back. Near the end of the match, though, they are outside of the ring. And where is it? Paige, this is where it is. Paige nails Saints with the twisted grin on the legs of a steel chair and hits him like throat first. His arm was there, but throat first on the legs of the steel chair. It snaps, and Saints is just like unable to breathe. It's bad. But obviously, like Ava said, we need a winner. So the ref keeps the match going. Saints gets back in the ring. And he manages to kick out a time or two. He manages to get a few good blows in. But at the end of the day, he goes for... Paige tries to hit him with the ego's edge, but Saints lands on his feet. And then he rocks Paige with a forearm smash. And he tries to do the Rochambeau, but Paige lands back on his feet. And then he snaps the top rope into his throat and connects with the twisted grin to pick up the victory.
And I'm gonna say this. This was a shock. Like, I genuinely thought Ricky Saints was going to keep it.
Mm-hmm. I knew he was going to lose it.
But
like I said, you said as soon as he came, as soon as he's gonna. Words are hard, guys. I'm going on like. Actually, I slept pretty good last night, but I didn't get a break, so my brain's all a little scrambled. Anyway, shut up. Anyway, it's like when he first came here, you said he's not going to be here very long.
Sorry.
You share with the class, buddy. What is it?
Yeah, really.
He's just your brain scrambled?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that normal?
Yes, but they're extra scrambled today.
Like scrambled eggs at work?
Yeah, but instead of doing the slow, anyway, they splash all over the place. It's a huge mess. Anyway, moving on with the new NXT North American Champion Ethan Page via pinfall, and then Sarah Schreiber.
Yes.
Okay, Sarah Schreiber has a backstage interview with Fatal Influence. JC Jane knew she was going to get an NXT Women's Championship match all along, and clearly all it took was for her to slap Stephanie McKeer in the face to get it. Henley says that she should be the one getting the title match because the last time JC fought Stephanie, she lost. JC says that she's going to bring back gold to Fatal Influence, unlike Fallon Henley, who lost her NXT Women's North American Championship to, you guessed it, Stephanie McKeer. It seems like all of these girls have lost to Stephanie before.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
And JC's like, I don't care, Fallon. If you want to be in my corner tonight, that's great. If not, oh well. Exactly. Essentially, I don't remember exactly how she worded, but that was the gist of it.
And then we have the Mike Santana thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshiki Inamura's back in NXT after a brief return to Japan, and Inamura tells Josh Briggs that he's back to get the NXT Tag Team Championships and so much more.
Which, like I said, when their pay-per-view, Roadblock?
You're talking about the last one?
Yeah, the one they just did. When he came back.
Was it? No. Was it Roadblock?
Hang on.
I think Roadblock was before Stand and Deliver.
I don't know. Anyway, the last one, we talked about it. I don't remember.
What was NXT's last pay-per-view?
Yeah, because now you got me wondering.
Revolution? No. Is that not right?
It wasn't TakeOver.
No.
Alexa, what was NXT's last pay-per-view?
The last pay-per-view of NXT was in 2021. NXT
Okay.
was a
Never
part
mind.
of the wrestling company WWE. It was viewed last in paper in 2021. It was viewed by many people
All
all
right,
over the
Alexa.
world.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome.
She does not look up stuff very good sometimes.
No, she does not.
Got it? We have it. We reviewed it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
It was with Saturday Night.
Oh, that's right. Saturday night. God dang it! Now I
I
got.
think it was actually first.
Yes, because we.
No, it was Under Siege was first. Did we cover it with?
We did. It was actually last, because that's where Fuckface won. Here is Battleground.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, my brain's already scrambled enough. I can't be doing double scrambled.
Double scrambled.
Yeah, double scrambled, over easy, extra well done. Add some cheese on top. Anyway.
Okay.
Then our second match of the night is Mike Santana versus Tavion Heights with the No Quarter Catch Crew. Wait.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, yeah. I'll
Right.
make it. Shut up.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Santana put on a damn show.
Oh,
Yes, he did.
absolutely.
Tavion Heights. I mean, he's good.
He's good, but I don't think this was meant to look meant
yes,
meant to make
Blech.
Santana look better, and it did that.
Because
I think it especially worked because Miles just went up against Oba and put on a hell of a show, and then you have his teammate going up against Santana, making Santana look even better. Speaking of which, that has me excited to talk about what's happening with No Quarter Catch Crew, but we'll get to that. But yeah, this is a pretty good match. Not too much to like write home about. Like they're getting their moves and it's good, but nothing like mind blowing. You know?
Yeah, but then we get to High Rise Bennett, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
I really just did not care.
Who the fuck are the High Rise?
The ones with Wesley. Those two big guys that are always, I can't think of their names.
That tells you how little I give a fuck about. I literally don't even remember who you're talking about.
If I showed you, you know what I was talking about.
But yeah, Mike wins. Then we get their vignette thingy.
You like this.
Andre Chase tells Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors that they need to stop being so overzealous, demanding matches without a plan. They need to balance seizing the moment and falling back. And Uriah says that they need to take even more risks. So they walk up to Ava, they relay the message they interpreted from Mr. Chase, saying, we need to take even more risks, we need to take opportunities. And Ava tells them that they can have a match next week against Dark State, but with the twist.
Oh, that's gonna be.
And they're like, but there's only 2 of us, and there's 4 of them. And she's like, actually, there's 3 of you, so you'll go against 3 of them. So next week, it is Mr. Chase, Kale Dixon, and Uriah Connors against 3 members of Dark State, and Mr. Chase is fuming.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yes, he is. He was not a happy
camper.
boys.
They're like, we can finally be a team. He's like, we are not a team. I think, you know what? I don't.
A little louder than that. But.
Yes, but I don't have the energy to get that loud right now. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Dark State, you don't gotta do shit. You can just sit back and let Mr. Chase beat their asses for you.
Pretty much. And then we get the thing on what happened with Tony D'Angelo and Shane Lorenzo at Battleground, which is fine.
And then Trick Williams comes out. Oh my god. I hate this guy so much.
Trick Williams could go to poopy poo.
He comes out and he says, go ahead and cut that music. Reporting to you live, the sexiest and the most entertaining superstar alive. Hollywood Trick has finally arrived. That's a rhyme. Vaguely. That's a better rhyme than anything he had in his entire rap. This time I'm making history, though. Hey, yo, this time I'm making history. For the first time ever, an NXT superstar is holding this TNA gold. But let's add that to my resume. 2-time NXT champ, 1-time North American champion, Iron Survivor winner. Let's talk about it. No. Forget that. Don't start clapping now. Because if my memory serves me correctly, a lot of the same ones clapping was the same ones waving their hands, playing sing-along with Average Joe. I got one thing to say to you. Don't you feel stupid? And speaking of average and speaking of stupid, why are people always trying to figure out what's the line between NXT and TNA, TNA and NXT? Damn it, don't cross. Trick Williams, I am the line. Let's talk about it. And because NXT didn't appreciate me like you should, I'm going to go to TNA. I'm going to wear this gold right here. Take a good look at it. It looks good, don't it? You know who held this title before? People like Kurt Angle. People like Drew McIntyre. People like Bully Ray. People like AJ Styles. But none of them can compare to Trick Williams, especially not Joe Hendry.
Bullshit.
So, this is how we're going to do it. I'm turning my back on the people because you turned your back on me. Yes, you did. You were singing along and you turned your back on me. I remember. I'm going to go back to TNA. I'm going to go talk to management. All those boys at TNA who work for Trick Williams now, and we're going to make some changes. Starting with the name of TNA. It is now Trick NA.
And then Mike Santana shows up. And he's like, Big Trick Willie, huh? The main man in the block, right? Hey, yo, I personally want to come out here and give you props for last Saturday.
Let me tell you this, Santana. You just made your first mistake by interrupting your champion.
First and foremost, let's get this straight. You ain't my champion. Secondly, you made a terrible first impression. But I'm coming out here as TNA champion. By coming out here as TNA champion, I try to tear down TNA, but guess what? TNA been killing the game. TNA been gaining momentum day after day. And last thing I'm going to do is sit back as someone who carries that flag and watch you come out here and tear this place down. After what me and the rest of that locker room has done to build this place, that trick ain't happening.
Santana, obviously you don't know how things work, do you, big dog? That's right, because you've never been the TNA champion. So, let me help you out. When you are the World Heavyweight Champion of your brand, once you carry the weight around here, then, only then, can you call the shots.
You make me laugh, Trick. But guess what? People like you piss me the hell off. Let me remind you, because obviously I need to refresh your memory after Sunday. I'm loud and I'm proud. Barack up from the Bronx, baby. I've seen people like you come and go. But let me be the one to tell you. You're a pretender. You're a pretend fighter. You're a pretend rapper. Amen to that. Oh. Sorry.
If you want rap, with those Snoop Dogg.
With those high heels and tight ass pants that look like a freaking cow. Anyway. And pretending and tight ass pants. And after Saturday or after Sunday at Battleground, you're a pretend ass champion. But let me tell you what, Trick. I'm the illest and the realest you've ever come. I'm the illest and the realest you've ever come across. You ain't never dealt with someone like me. But I'm gonna spit some facts to you. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna take that TNA title from you.
Let's be real, Santana. Keep popping off if you want to. I'm gonna take off these lemon pepper steppers and beat your ass.
Whoa. Guys, take it easy. I've seen this conversation. I've seen that this conversation is getting a little too
heated.
Heated, yeah. Let me just say this, Trick Williams. Congratulations.
No, this is Tricky Williams.
yeah.
Tricky Williams, because this is Santina Marella that comes on the...
That's right. They didn't...
Yeah.
Santino Marella, that's right. Santino Marella, that's right. So it is actually how he says it.
Yes, Tricky Williams.
Whoa. Take it easy. I see that this conversation is getting a little too heated. Let me just say this, Tricky Williams. Congratulations. As the TNA Director of Authority, let me just tell you this. As the TNA champion, you will be a fighting champion. So next week, I've already spoken to Ava. You will defend the TNA title against TNA's very own Mike Santana. And then...
Oh, no.
Trick refuses to... Santana reaches his hand out to shake Trick Williams' hand. Trick refuses. And then tries to hit him with a cheap shot. He avoids it. And then they start going at it.
And at the end of it, he tosses Tricky Williams outside the ring. He grabs the title. He holds it up. And look, all I want to say is, thank you, not Santana. Wait, no. Santino. Very similar names. Thank you, Santino. That's what I want. I want a fighting champion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should be.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway.
And then we get...
Ava backstage telling Stephanie McKeer that she needs to find a tag team partner for her match against Dales and Chick Tormento at WWE Worlds Collide. Stephanie says that she'll find a tag team partner, but first she needs to defend her NXT Women's Championship. Then Lola Vice comes up and says that she'll be Stephanie's tag team partner at Worlds Collide.
And then we get Jada Parker versus Tatum Paxley. And this was good. It was a good match.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's up with Tatum Paxley right now. I mean, I know what's up, but...
She's a hot mess.
Yeah.
I think it's that...
She came out with,
dolls of her friends that she...
Yeah, I think that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, the friends that she lost, basically, yeah.
And now there's these, little Monster High...
Yeah.
I don't need to say Monster High brat dolls. Like, that kind of...
Yeah,
the bigger head, the long hair.
Yeah, the long, spindly bodies, yeah. But, I mean, it's a good match. Nothing too crazy, but, halfway through the match, Jada, being Jada Parker...
grabs the dolls and...
tears them up, throws them out of the ring, and Tatum loses her shit, and, it lets Tatum... No, Parker. God, names are difficult today. More so than usual. Yes, Parker connects with Hypnotic to pick up the victory. After the match, Thea Hales attacks Parker from behind. Parker denies the Kimura lock and then scrambles outside of the ring to run away. And then we get a freaking jobber match, which I hate.
Yeah, I don't even really want to. I mean,
Jasper Troy is in a match versus Dante Chen.
He's not a jobber. It's just this guy has been away for so long. I didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And Jasper Troy just destroyed him. He ate him alive.
It was a jobber. I don't know who Dante Chen is. He might have been, a champion. He might have been great. But for the sake of this, he was a jobber. He got thrown in there to make Jasper look dangerous, which I hate. I hate it when they did that with Braun Strowman. I hate it when they did that with the girls in TNA. I just hate when they do that. If you want to make somebody look powerful and dangerous, throwing them up against jobbers is in my opinion.
You're gonna have to fight jobbers.
I know I'm going to be a jobber. Yeah. But my point is, especially for somebody like Jasper Troy, where you're coming in and, you're supposed to be the big powerhouse. Let them fight actual. I'm not saying these guys aren't actual superstars, but like name brand superstars.
I get it.
I don't know. I can't think of a better term for it right now.
I get it.
Scramble brains, but I don't know. I feel like Jasper deserves better,
Yep,
but that's just me.
I do too. But
And this, I think this is what you were wanting to talk about.
Yes. We go back to the No Quarter Catch Crew dojo, and Charlie Dempsey says that he's proud of Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights with their recent performances. However, they also proved they still can't get the job done as single competitors. Dempsey says that they need the group to refocus, and Bourne says that he's not going to retreat just because he lost. Just because he lost to Opafemi at Battleground. He proved that he belongs on the big PLE pay-per-view, or the stages. Dempsey says that Bourne is not ready to navigate the waters of NXT on his own. And Bourne's like, you know what? What if I beat you? Will that prove that I'm ready to go off on my own? And Charlie says, you know what? Bet. But if Bourne wins, he'll leave the No Quarter Catch Crew. But it is a rounds match, I believe is what they called it. So I don't know if that's going to be the... You know what? We can just look it up right now. NXT rounds match. I don't know if that's the same... What? A rounds match is a specific type of match where wrestlers compete in rounds, with each round lasting a set time, typically 3 minutes, and a brief break in between. Matches are 2 out of 3 falls, meaning the first wrestler to win 2 falls. Okay. So it's kind of like but not quite, because the
Heritage Cup?
The Heritage Cup is like 6 rounds. They're like a minute, and there's like a 20-second break in between, I believe. Something like that. But it's basically just
the rules are right there.
Yeah, but it's basically a 2 out of 3 falls, but like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Ethan Page comes out. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you is arguably the greatest North American to hold the North American Championship. And I ain't waiting to celebrate. We are celebrating tonight. It looks good on me." And then I love this so much. Javon Evans is just petty for this, and I love it. He comes out and he says, "Dang, you turned up and you didn't invite me? Like, we got history. I'm still waiting on you to pay for my jaw injury, but you know what? Congratulations, bro. I cannot think of nobody more undeserving to win the NXT North American Championship. Like, if we're going to be dead ass, last week when you pulled up on me during the triple threat match, you cost me, and I couldn't live with that. So, earlier tonight, after you won, I was talking to Ava, and since we have this big showcase with WWE and AAA called Worlds Collide, you, champ, will be defending that precious NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide against me, the young OG."
And then Ethan comes up and he's like, "Javon, you do not deserve a shot at this title. You deserve to be put on a mask. You deserve to put on a mask, even though you're not a luchador, pal."
John says, you're right. Worlds Collide is not just about NXT. You got a lot of people gunning for you. But everybody in NXT knows that boy is bouncy. But brother right here got hops too. And then Laredo Kid comes out and he says... Laredo Kid comes out. He says, thank you. Javon, let me introduce myself. I am Laredo Kid, the most complete luchador you will ever see. I've won championships from AAA to TNA, and now I'm coming for the NXT North American Championship.
And then Ethan is like, whoa, stop. You guys are talking about a triple threat match. No. Tonight was a celebration for me, and I'm not going to allow the two of you to ruin my night.
And this was beautiful. Javon says, oh no, I forgot. My bad. You're still going against one more person. And then Rey Fenix comes out. It's so good to be in NXT. The passion, the spirit. Everybody has been telling about it. Ethan Page, you just won the title, but unfortunately for you, next Saturday, you're going to lose it. At Worlds Collide, it'll be a fatal 4-way for the NXT North American Championship. And I hope all of you are ready, because that night, I'm going to bring that fire, and I'm going to burn you up.
Exactly.
We already know. At least I'm calling it right now. Javon Evans wins it
I hope.
because I don't see. I see zero world in which Ethan retains. If he does, it's gonna be some backhanded bullshit. And there's no reason for Ray to win it. He's not gonna come back down to NXT because he went straight to the main roster anyway.
Yes.
And I don't see them giving it to. I mean, they might give it to a AAA star, but I don't think it's. I don't think those. Like, this is their first
Yeah.
thing together with WWE, so I don't think they're quite ready to merge like that yet. So I'm like 99% sure it's gonna be Javon Evans. If it's not, then Ethan retains, and that's just sad for everybody. But we move on.
Then we get a Robert Stone backstage, which I hate this guy. And I don't necessarily even hate him on NXT. I do because of what he. But anyway, Robert Stone can't believe that Ava is forcing Ethan Page to defend the NXT Championship in a fatal four-way. Stevie Turner says she can't believe that 3 people got a shot at that title after Shawn Legacy won the triple threat match last week.
Ava says that the reason the match is a fatal 4-way was because she wanted a representation from the main roster, NXT, and AAA. Ava tells Stevie that Shawn Legacy will get a future North American title opportunity following WWE Worlds Collide. Stevie plugs tomorrow night's WWE Evolved. The inaugural WWE Evolved Women's Champion will be crowned in a fatal 4-way match, which we will be watching that tonight before SmackDown, so
we will cover it Saturday.
Yeah. And then we cut backstage where Sol Ruka and Zarya walk up on Tatum Paxley, who she's going through it, man.
Yeah.
She's going through it.
She's taking everybody leaving her a little rough.
Yeah, a little bit. But they come up to her and says, we know you're going through a rough time.
I don't know why that popped up.
I don't know either. Anyway, she goes, you know what? Sol's like, I know you're going through a rough time. If you need someone to talk to, we'll be here for you. And it even says, we see the calling in the background. And you called it, that the calling, they're going to try to recruit her because that is the calling's thing. They take in the broken, the down on their luck, all that, and turn them into whatever the fuck they are. Then we get our 5th match and our main event of the night, which
we're gonna try to.
Stephanie Vakir versus JC Jane with Fatal Influence for the WWE NXT Women's Championship.
And you know what? This was good until it wasn't.
This was a great fight. I was genuinely surprised with JC's offense, with her ability, but we all knew it wasn't gonna be enough. Ain't nobody enough to take on Stephanie. But 3-on-1, they still barely pulled it off.
But she was holding her own. JC was doing it.
Yeah.
JC was doing it, but it literally took all 3 of them to take her out.
Yeah, and even then, I didn't believe it. I don't think anybody did. Speaking of people not believing it, so if you can't tell, if you didn't watch, I don't know why you're watching this. I'm trying to pull up Discord, and it's not wanting to for some reason, so give me a moment, though.
Are we falling into the abyss?
No, I haven't put the screen on yet. I'm just trying to pull up, where this. Because,
okay.
Look, if you don't know what happened...
Mike Rowe, who is the NXT ring announcer.
Yes, Stephanie loses the title. She gets pinned by JC Jane after one of her...
The bell rings. The bell rings.
And this...
And Mike Rowe, can they see the picture?
Yeah. This
is the look on his... The guy in the glasses, after about, probably 3 or 4 seconds, is like hey.
You gotta say something. And he's like, and your new North American... No, I was wrong. He says, and your new WWE NXT Women's Championship, or...
Championship, JC Jane.
Yeah.
But he, legit
This was everybody. You can see the guy over here, the guy over here. You can even see a few people in the crowd. They're all just sat there in stunned silence, just like, what just happened? What do you mean and new? It's and still your champion. Wait, what? Yeah, everybody was a little flabbergasted there. Like I said, she should have relinquished, but that's my opinion.
But anyway, on to the next.
Yes, on to Impact. Oh, that's just like the run. Oh, is this just?
Yes, because I could not find a good list.
Okay.
So we're
gonna have to just remember shit
as best we can.
Yeah. All right. So our first match of the night. Hang on, I'm making sure I did in fact put our faces back up. Yeah, our ugly mugs are back up.
We had Mustafa Ali.
We had
versus Raji Singh.
Yes, and it was just it was a train wreck.
It was absolutely horrible.
I don't think the match was even anything like.
Again, what the part I wanted to get to is Mustafa wins.
Yes, but
he continues to do the same thing he's done.
Yeah, well, he doesn't actually attack him. He has the great hands attack him, and Tasha Steele comes up and
tries to get between them, or not between him, but tells him to stop.
Yeah, and Ali grabs her by the hair and pulls her back and is screaming in her face, and then just sort of shoves her aside and continues to attack.
But if you notice, I think what the interesting part was when they all do the pledge to Ali thing that they do, she was like,
yeah, obviously, because he's a.
So I think.
You think? No. She's gonna remain loyal, and of course she's gonna fucking turn on him.
And you know what?
But here's the problem. What does it mean? What does that do? He still has the great hands. I mean, I
think one of them is going to wind up turning two, if not both.
Yes.
Because the one kind of was like.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
I think it has to. It has to be all or none of them. Because I mean, absolutely zero disrespect when I say this, but Tasha Steele turning on him doesn't do anything to hurt him when he still has the great hands.
Which I think has got to be one of the dumbest names for a tag team.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I think it could be a decent name if it represented them, the great hands. If they were like boxers or something, they go in and they're hitting you with the 1-2, the stuff like that, the great hands. But I think
it's supposed to be more like Ali's hands.
Yeah, and that's why it's dumb.
Yeah.
And if they were like boxers and they were going in, boom, 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 then it would make sense. But it's just dumb. Anyway,
that's good dog water.
And then we get Li Zhang Li
against Ash by Elegance.
I'm gonna tell you this.
This was, if I remember correctly, it was like an on the spot thrown up match, right?
Well, because of what happened Under Siege.
Yeah.
With the whole thing of Masha Slamovich wanted to take her on there. And
that's
Robert Stone.
She has to earn her shot.
When Victoria Crawford didn't have to earn crap.
Yeah, she has to earn her shot by defeating a tag team wrestler.
She shouldn't have to.
I agree, but I think it's funny how she had to earn her shot for a singles title by defeating a tag team wrestler.
But she defeated her.
So now she is the first in line.
She's the number one contender for Masha Slamovich.
Mm-hmm. And then
the personal concierge comes out.
He cuts a really dumb promo and says that
later tonight they have a surprise. It's going to be great. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, wait, isn't that?
Well, it's later too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like, anyway.
Remember, he came out
and then comes out later. Yeah. I was just making sure because it's.
But then we have, and I hate this guy. I do not know why I hate this guy so much. I have multiple reasons in my head why I think I hate him so much. But before that, we get the promo of Against All Odds, Masha Slamovich and Lee Lang Lee.
At Against All Odds.
The guy I'm talking about is Mace Warner. Like, I don't know why I hate him so much. I just do. It's not that he's a bad wrestler. I just feel like his character is bleh.
Vance Warner, I recognize the name, but it's not putting a face. I spelled that wrong, but I'm glad. Oh, this guy, yeah. I was like, I know that name. I don't know. He's a good wrestler, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't dislike him. I just don't particularly care for him.
I mean, I guess it's like with Stephanie DeLander out there. Their whole, like, I don't know if they're really even dating or married or.
I mean, they be giving it the sloppy French style pretty often. I feel like they're at least doing something, but I don't know.
Here's my thing.
I guess Liv and
Danya never really like done anything, so.
Yeah, and Rhea Moore just licked his face
all the time. But anyway, here's the point I'm getting at with Mason Warner. I think it has to do with the whole Stephanie DeLander thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just... One, she's always, like, interfering in, like, the stuff, promoting him, which is fine, it's great. But I don't know if I get all the kissy thing, like... I guess it looks good, but it doesn't impress me. Like, I don't feel like it needs to be out there. Like, I understand it's a great story.
There's having a place for making
It's a great story.
Yeah.
But well, kind of like what Knight Rider said. There's a time and place. I don't need to see that on.
I mean, granted,
camera. I guess one of the big parts that gets to me is the lipstick.
Oh, it's sort of overdone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if they were just kissing, it'd be one thing, but it's the like lipstick mark. Yeah, that's a little overdone in my opinion. But
and then after the match, the whole like in the ring, like French kissing type thing. It's like, really?
It's like, okay.
I mean, I get it, but it doesn't impact like how I think. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't benefit.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I just don't. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't know if I particularly care for the
character.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I like what's his moniker? The something psychopath.
Trailer Park? Is it Southern Psychopath?
Yeah, the Southern Psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I really enjoyed his match against... Banging my head against a wall. The barbed wire match.
Oh, was it Callahan?
Yes. What's his first name? Callahan?
Sami Callahan?
Yeah, Sami Callahan. I really enjoyed that match. Like I said, I enjoy the Southern Psychopath, the demented, twisted.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know. I'm not. I don't feel connected to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's nothing that makes me
like, ooh, I really like this guy, or ooh, I really hate this guy.
Yeah, I'm not engaged with
exactly
his. He's on there, it's bathroom break. It's go get me some food from the refrigerator. And you guys can see our refrigerator and our thing. It's not that far, but the point of the matter is,
it's like I'm just not particularly fond of the character.
No,
I agree. I'm not too, like I said, I don't dislike him. I'm just not
fond of the
invested.
character that much. I mean,
Then we go on to
And this was weird because
SDL.
ugh.
Help me out here. Scrambled for brains. Who's SDL? This is why we have Firefox. Steph DeLander.
oh yeah, that's right. Okay, why we? Okay, whoever did this moron. Anyway, irrelevant.
Yeah, Steph DeLander says that she wants
Well, I
TNA
remember it now. She's because she was in the ring, and she's like, you had to relinquish the title, which means you're still a champion. So we need to go get us another champion, so the world recognizes that you're a champion. Because you're always going to be my champion. Whole promo-y thing. I remember that now.
Yeah, she's the one with Robert, right?
And Mace Warner.
Oh,
Remember, she was in the ring and did the
yeah.
whole little promo-y thing. That was when that happened.
Once again, like I said, I wasn't very invested with them, but
And this was, oh my god, this was. I would have choked myself.
this was an absolute.
I wanted to choke myself out. Okay?
This was a shit show. Robert Stone and Victoria Crawford with Tessa Blanchard and Alicia Edwards.
But okay, it was supposed to be Robert Stone and Tessa Blanchard.
Yes.
But
because of their match at Under Siege, Tessa Blanchard
had, what was it?
TBJ, I think.
Something to do with her jaw.
Yeah, like her jaw was
dislocated her jaw.
She could barely speak, blah 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 blah.
Which
So
is actually great. We didn't have to listen to her fucking mouth.
yeah. So she wasn't allowed to compete. Therefore, Victoria Crawford took her place against Santina Marella and Ariana Grace.
And this, oh my god, they had come out earlier and said that they had got a special referee for the match, Jimmy Corderas, who has been a referee in WWE and TNA.
Yeah. But Stone comes out there and he says, I went to the higher ups and there are 3 rules for this match. Number 1, it can't go over 10 minutes. Number 2, Alicia Edwards is here to be the enforcer, just in case
something happens to the ref, which...
Yeah. And
guess what? Newsflash! We already called it.
Something happens to the ref.
Yeah.
And then number 3, the Cobra is banned. Marella, if you even try to use that reptile, then I take your job. It's like, what? What? That's not how any of that works. What? Why? It's a match. It's a wrestling move. Anybody can do the Cobra. I'm not saying I would, but I could go and do the Cobra. That doesn't mean you get to take my.
Here's the thing, and this is something, and it says it in here, and I caught it, but it didn't. When he announced that Tessa was not going to be in the match, the crowd was actually cheering.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was like, "Enough! Stop!"
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this match is a fucking.
First off, Stone gets in the ring and he's all bouncy, and Marella gets in there and he tags out.
Yeah. And then,
like the minute Marella even takes like 2 steps forward, he's
so Ariana and not
Victoria
get in the ring. They go off. Not Victoria. Ariana's doing pretty good for a little bit, but of course, oh my god, names are not working with me today. Tessa gets involved. She trips up Ariana, so she gets sent to the back, which allows Victoria to get the upper hand, and then eventually they switch out roles.
Are you okay?
I think he's just trying to pop his back.
He's trying to pop my back.
But eventually, Stone gets tagged back into the match. He's going up against Ariana for a little bit, and then Marella gets in. He starts whooping Stone's ass. He goes outside of the ring, and I think Stone hits his daughter, and Marella is like he has the python or the cobra ready to go,
Yep.
but the referee's like, no, stop!
No.
It's been banned. You're not allowed to do that. They go outside the ring. Stone basically hits the ref from behind. He pushes Morella into him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, what? Oh, I don't know. But, then he grabs Morella. My brain.
Throws him out of the ring.
Well, throws him into the steel
Yeah, throws him
steps.
in the steps.
Then,
Victoria hits
Ariana Grace with her finishing move. And then, Stone tags himself into the match so he can pin Ariana Grace and pick up the victory.
That's after Alicia Edwards had become the new
referee. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, guess what? I didn't see that coming.
Exactly.
Kyle or Tafari, I didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait! Oh, there's the bullshit. I already found it.
No, all you had to do is just open your nose, you'd smell it.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah,
And then we get the Maggie Lee is now
M by Elegance.
But this was great because
Ash isn't out there because of their match. She lost earlier to Li Ying Lee. But halfway through, Harley Hudson and Mila Grace interrupt.
And they throw champagne on her. I freaking thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which they don't include.
That part was wonderful.
Promos in here, but it's whatever. But yeah, they throw champagne on her because earlier our Elegance had interrupted their promo time.
Yeah.
And I believe, well, we get it later.
It was the concierge.
Yeah. And then we get our international championship match, Steve Macklin versus Matt Cardona, and this was a pretty damn good fight, honestly.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. Like, it impressed me.
Yeah. Like, lots of back and forth, both of them showing off their power, their athleticity.
I don't think there was any great matches tonight. I mean,
they were good. I don't think any of them were great. I think this was probably the best of the night, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna agree with that.
And then after the show wraps up, we have more matches confirmed for June 6th. Elijah versus the winner of Trick Williams versus Mike Santana for the TNA Championship. Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian. Steve Macklin versus Mance Warner for the TNA International Championship. Robert Sheriff Stone versus TNA Director of Authority Santina Marella in a match to determine the authority figure for TNA Wrestling. And I swear to God, if this little sheriffy stony bitch wins this match, there's going to be riots. And when I say riots, I mean like the crowd will come out of the... There's not enough security in that building to protect him.
I agree. I do not want this by no stretch of the imagination.
No, nobody does.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing. It's not even entertaining. It's not even like the...
I love Santino. I think he's doing great. He's doing, like we said on NXT, he's, even with TNA, he's doing the stuff that the people want.
Yeah.
And I think Robert Stone is in here. Oh, you're my favorite, and you're my favorite.
Yeah.
You guys get these really cool matches. You have to earn yours.
Because here's the thing, Vince McMahon, not referring to the McMahon era where like changing matches minutes before. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when Vince McMahon was out there playing the character of Vince McMahon, being the douchebag authority figure, whatnot. He was at least entertaining because you hated him, but he was making good matches. He was doing underhanded, shady bullshit, but he still felt like an authority figure. Robert Stone is just a whiny bitch who's like, ooh, I like you, I'm going to give you a shot. Ooh, I like you, I'm going to give you a shot. Oh, I want to win this match, so I'm going to make my own rules, blah, 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 blah. He's like a watered-down, shittier version of McMahon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Watered-down, shitty version, I love it. This is what McMahon would have looked like in the G era.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right.
Because
Right.
I know we're in the PG era.
would you disagree that Vince
or
McMahon
the
played
PG-13? But
Vince McMahon played this role infinitely better? And you didn't even like Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. But at least I hated him.
Yeah, this guy, I'm just like, get the fuck off my screen. Like, I don't even hate him. He's just whiny and annoying.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate him, don't get me wrong. But it's like, dude, seriously?
yeah, it's not
Like,
like,
how can I cheat in order to make myself look better? And
yeah,
all he's doing is making himself look like a little bitch.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, at least Vince McMahon,
Exactly.
he felt like an authority figure. He felt like he had power and, authority. He's
Yep.
just a whiny bitch who's trying to look cool and failing miserably. But
So we
anyway,
do have a little bit to uncover for
yes.
TNA. Go back up.
Oh, actually, no. We're gonna start off with this, not that. Excuse me. We're gonna start off with this.
Oh, okay. Because this was before.
This was before Battleground, but we found it and I thought it was interesting. So. But yeah, I just thought that was cool because, like I said, fair fucks to you, man. That's great.
Exactly.
That's not where I want to be. Here we go.
We do have some better ones, but we'll.
Yeah,
start with-
Stephanie Vakir is expected to join the WWE Raw brand. Jordan Grace is expected to join the SmackDown brand. Nobody's surprised by this. And then we have the youngest WWE wrestlers on the main
We
roster.
did the oldest a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
here are the youngest. We have Roxanne Perez at just age 23. Tiffany Stratton at just the age of 26. And then we have... Oh, God. From Pretty Deadly.
Yeah. I always get them so mixed up.
Say both. One of them's right.
It's look it up. It's Kit
Fuck.
Kit and Prince. I'm not sure. One
we're
is Kit and one is
WWE Pretty Deadly. Lewis, and those are the real names. You bitch. Is Pretty Deadly a couple? No. Who is in WWE Pretty Deadly?
Elton.
Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. That's right.
I knew it was Kit and Prince. I knew that was like part of each name, but I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
and then we have
But so the
Grace-
blonde, I believe,
No.
is Elton Prince. I believe.
Yeah. Not Grayson Waller.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. Braun Breaker, obviously. And then all at the age of 28, we have
Lyra,
Rhea Ripley,
Maxine
Dupre. Is that Bianca? I think that's Bianca Belair. No, that might be. I don't know.
I think it is. It's not a good picture, but
No, they're all very condensed. I'm not sure who
and
that
that's
is.
Tyler Bates,
Rey Mysterio, and Axiom. Yeah, I don't know who's. Then we have Julius. Is that Phoenix?
I'm not.
I think that looks like Phoenix. He's the only other luchador or that might be Dragon Lee. Alexa, How old is Ray Phoenix from WWE?
From Nuber.com. Ray Phoenix is 85 years old.
What? Oh my god. Alexa's terrible looking things up. How old is Ray Phoenix from WWE? 33, so no, that might be Dragon Lee. How old is Dragon Lee from WWE? 30. As of today, May 30th, he was born on May 15th, so I don't know when this was put up, but
Yeah, so it's probably Dragon League.
yeah.
And then Humberto.
Humberto, yeah. So that's interesting. But I mean, fuck. Good for Tiffany, man. Good for Roxanne, too. Good for all of these motherfuckers, honestly. Anyway.
Exactly.
I find it funny how everybody seems to be okay with pushing Stephanie for the world title against Io. Abso-fucking-lutely. But when Julia got sent to the MR main events of Raw, wins a qualifier for Money in the Bank, she got a ton of backlash for her push. By who? By idiots?
Exactly.
I don't know. To be fair, I
I actually, like we've said here, I would love for 90% of the NXT, especially women's division,
to go up.
to the main roster.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you, there is one evolved girl that I am waiting to go up to the main roster.
Kelly Armstrong.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna, when she hits NXT, which for all we know could be in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because here's what I'm gonna tell you: she is a heel, and she is damn good at being a heel.
Oh, absolutely.
But you know what? Like we said, she backs it all up.
Well, she's the worst kind of heel. She's the one that goes out there, says, I'm the best there is. I'm better than you. I'm going to beat your ass. You can't even touch me. And then guess what?
Yeah.
You get in that ring, and she whoops your ass, and you don't even touch her.
Exactly.
And then, because then you can't even be mad. I mean, you're still mad, but you're like, fuck, she was right.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know a single person who's mad about Julia getting pushed. If they are, they're stupid. Don't pay attention to them.
Exactly.
And then we saw that. I'm just floored by that.
I'm just pulling it up again because this was everybody's reaction. Like I said, you can see the guy here on not commentary, but you know
The ring announcer, or not ring announcer, the
bell guy, I guess, and then
timekeeper.
you like everybody here just what now? What? Yeah, anyway.
Which just goes to prove, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be funny, whatever, but it's the point. These are stories, but I guess they weren't in the loop.
I don't, because this is
Exactly.
look. Here's the thing. I know they're all actors, but I don't know if you can just pull off this genuine.
I don't know if he knew the outcome of that match.
I don't think so either.
I don't think any of them knew the outcome.
Because this is like the most genuine. Like
What the hell?
he looks like he's about to cry.
If you guys are watching this, okay, I'm just gonna say this: you need to go back and watch this match. The look on his face, the time period that it took.
We're gonna have to go back and watch the end of this match tonight just to see this because this is beautiful.
He legit, like I said, the blonde guy with the glasses.
Like
after about 3 or 4 seconds, it was like, dude, you gotta
say something. It's like, and you're new NXT Women's Champion. Whatever, JC Jane, I think, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's still funny to me. This is Sol Ruka and Zarya talking.
Talk about
Kyle? We're going to throw you out in the water, boy.
I'm tired, man. Leave me alone. Julia and Stephanie here are on
I'm
base.
gonna tell you this 100%. I would want to see this.
Like I said,
Yeah.
Because here, go ahead.
Stephanie goes up. You know, like I said, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be in the Money in the Bank. I don't know if she's gonna win it, but she's gonna be in the Money in the Bank. I can see her losing it to Julia. Julia gets the Money in the Bank, Stephanie goes on to face Io Sky, beat her for her women's championship. Julia gets the Money in the Bank. She cashes in on Tiffany Stratton, takes her title, and then at Crown Jewel, they fight for the Crown Jewel Championship. Title versus title.
Well, that's how it will be. The two champions go at it for the one title.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
JC Jane laughing at her doubters after defeating Stephanie Vakir for the NXT Women's Championship last night. To everyone who ever doubted me, called me the third wheel, said I'd never make it. Never doubt me again. Sorry, honey, I will continue to doubt you, considering it took 3 of you to pin Stephanie to the mat for 3 seconds. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, but yeah.
From Sonia Barley, a WWE fan, thank you, Stephanie Vakira, for an amazing reign. You were an absolute machine. No doubt about it. Every single night.
A+.
Here's the outfit that we were talking about earlier. He's cosplaying as a cow.
I guess so.
I wouldn't be
also
caught dead in that.
Trick NA does not have a ring to it.
No, it does not. Sorry.
And this is from another fan account. I had this really crazy dream last night. Stephanie Vakir was defending her NXT Women's title, and she was delivering another banger as always, but ended up losing to JC Jane because of fatal influence for interference. Luckily, it was just a dream and Stephanie retained, right? Right?
I wish.
Is that not how...
I wish.
Again, Mike Rowe, the guy behind him, the guy next to him, the whole entire audience. They were all like...
I wish it was a dream, believe me.
Wait, hang on. Ow, fuck, ow. No! Yeah, pretty much.
I know that's how we were feeling. We're like, wait.
What just happened?
No.
That didn't happen.
Exactly.
Rewind.
We've ended up in some parallel dimension right here.
Because, and I'll tell you what, I still, if you think that Stephanie is knocked down a peg for me, no.
No.
Because, like we said, it took 3 of them.
Built different.
3 of them.
To pin her to the mat for 3 seconds. And here's the thing. What was it? 2 nights before this, she fought Jordan Grace.
Yep.
She was not at 100%, and I know that's not an excuse, but the point. But you know what? Here's the thing with Stephanie, and I'm going to tell you this, and I know you'll agree. She never complains.
No.
Ava was like, you're not defending your title, the second title tonight. No, I defend my title.
Mm-hmm. Because she's just built different.
She didn't complain when she got beat up because Ava was ready to pull the match.
Yeah, she's like, no. I got this.
So, I mean, I want you guys to understand, when I say Stephanie is built different, when Tafari, when Knight Rider, we all say Stephanie is built different. This does not diminish anything of how we feel for Stephanie Bakir.
No, she is built different. But she is,
like you said, it took 3.
Yeah. She is without her NXT title in the latest Worlds Collide poster. There was 0 chance Stephanie Bakir was staying in NXT much longer after this. This is awesome chance with the Women's World Champ before the match even started. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
The latest on potential WWE main roster call-ups for Ricky Sane, Stephanie Bakir, and Jordan Grace. I told you he's going to the main roster. You're like, no, he's not one of those I'm like, yes, he is.
That's what he was saying.
I told you. I can read this shit like a book. But, unfortunately, Rick Derringer, the singer of Hulk... What?
Rick Derringer.
Derringer? Okay. Rick Derringer, the singer of Hulk Hogan's Real American theme song, has sadly passed away at the age of 77. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends during this tough time.
I mean, that's always been his intro for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
The Real American has always been, I am a real American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ricky Saints expected to move to the main roster. Stephanie going to the main roster. And then tonight on SmackDown,
more bullshit.
We get a 30-minute waste of fucking time.
Yeah. Somebody who thinks he's entitled to something.
Can you guys tell how much I live the John Cena and Cody Rhodes promos? They're Terrible.
Let me sum this up for you. Before we even go down this road, let's sum this up for you. Let's just say John Cena comes out first. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
Cody,
all you suck. Cody comes down to the ring and is like, stop talking to fans like that because at Money in the Bank, me and Jey Uso are going to beat the hell out of you.
You and that you punk ass YouTuber. And then John Cena maybe tries to attack him, and
it turns into probably all four of them down the ring, having it out, blah, 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 BS.
And that don't forget that's after a 10-minute recap.
Yeah.
So 40 minutes in, we might have our first match.
Which is usually the case. Somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. I'm not trying to hate on...
No, I am. Because it's stupid.
Hear me out. I'm not trying to hate on Raw and SmackDown. But these promos, NXT can do the same thing. Like with Trick Williams, for instance.
Yeah, that entire
maybe
promo.
Like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it said everything they needed to say.
Exactly.
I mean, he was even doing the whole, like what Knight Rider said. Sounds like John Cena. Out there. No, don't be chanting my name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all were yelling average...
Singing with Average Joe, yeah. But once again, they told the entire story they needed to tell in like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to come out here and waste 30.
Waste 15.
Yeah, 20. Exactly. And we've already had this match once, y'all. Move on. Move the fuck on.
I'm so tired of it. But anyway, on to better news. Bianca Belair returns. Then we have Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, which is actually just Nia Jax wins because it's...
Yeah, because we've already seen...
Well, no, because Naomi and Jade Cargill are...
Yeah, but I mean...
They're going to just beat the hell out of each other. Because Nia Jax is going to have to clean up the scraps.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
If Nia doesn't win this, I'd be surprised.
And let me say this. Do I want Nia to win? 100% no.
But I see her winning.
But now who I want to win is Jade. But I do not think Jade's going to win.
No.
So.
And then we have Andrade versus Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes.
And we've had a little bit of a disagreement with this.
Because you said that Carmelo Hayes is going to win because of The Miz.
I
disagree. I don't think Carmelo Hayes is going to win because of The Miz. The Miz is a paperweight. He means fuck all. Jacob Fatu kicks him once, he's dead. I think the only way Carmelo wins is if Solo tries to help and costs him the match. Costs Jacob the match, I mean. Although, you know what could be interesting? I don't see it happening, but spitballing here. Miz tries to interfere, because it is a triple threat match, so technically it's no DQ. They could all come down there and beat the ever-living shit out of each other. But the Miz tries to interfere, and by some miracle, Carmelo gets the upper hand on Jacob Fatu. So Solo comes down there. JC Mateo comes down there. They try to help him, but in the process, they end up hurting him. And then Carmelo is left there to take care of the scraps. But Andrade managed to pull it up.
I would love to see Andrade do it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. It's not that I don't like Jake, because I do.
Oh, yeah.
But Andrade needs a push.
I agree. Andrade is great. Andrade is a phenomenal wrestler. He's a great luchador. I think we deserve to see more of him. He deserves to be seen more.
But I still say we need one in the Money in the Bank.
No.
Cross.
Yes, sir.
We need Cross in Money in the Bank.
It needs to.
If it does, I'd be genuinely surprised. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Cross. I'd love to see him there. But we know how the WWE is.
Yeah.
And apparently Lash Legend and Trick Williams just bought their dream home. So good for them, you know. Like I said, I hate his character. He's a douchebag, but, you know, they're just actors. They're playing a part. I'm very happy for them, you know. Here's the thing, being an NXT superstar and being the first ever TNA champion, he's making big bucks right now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like he probably just got him a clean $1 million, if not more, and he managed to go and buy them a house. Good on you, man. Good on you. Also, is he? No, he has to have heels on. Although I guess he is. I guess he is actually quite tall. I'm just so used to seeing Lash Legends tower over everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, now I'm curious. Hang on, we're gonna go back to our ugly ass faces for a second. Oh, Lash Legends is 6 foot tall. I think Trick Williams is actually taller. Yeah, he's 6'4". Okay, never mind. I'm just so used to seeing, like I said, I'm
Well,
so
the women's roster, yeah, she's pretty tall.
yeah, she's
And
like
especially when they put her up next to like
Jordan Grace. Yeah,
who is like 5'3" or 5'4", I think.
like I said, I'm just so used to seeing her tower over everybody that I'm like, he's wearing heels, but no, he's actually just taller, which is fair enough. Mike Santana received high marks from those within WWE after his appearance this week, and I imagine so. Like I said, Santana's great. I want to see him take this title. I don't think he's going to.
No.
But I want to see it. I would love to see it.
Go down to the next one first.
Jonathan Coachman recently revealed that, according to trusted sources within the wrestling industry, Vince McMahon is very interested in buying back WWE. And TKO is like, not a chance. We're not interested. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and I know our three opinions does not matter. If there is a God in heaven, he will not take back WWE.
No.
Exactly.
I know it was his company, it was his baby, it was his... But you know what? You sold it because of what happened, and I'm not going to bring any of that up, but WWE is in a much better place.
Yes. I think Triple H is doing phenomenally. TKO.
Yeah, I think so too, but...
Actually, what is TKO is like just the company that they also do, like, UFC. So they're like...
UFC, bull riding, I think they've got a hand in a couple other things.
Yeah, they're like a big conglomeration, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And then our last thing for tonight, like I said, at Against All Odds, we have Santina Marella versus Robert Stone. The winner is officially the TNA Director of Authority. Friday, June 6th, 10 p.m. Eastern, Tempe, Arizona.
But again, like I'm gonna say, do I know, and I guess I don't really know, but we know.
God, I hope yeah.
You know he's gonna cheat.
Look, TNA, please, I'm begging you. I know you will never see this. I know our opinions mean fuck all, but please no. Nobody wants to see this. If you make Robert Stone Director of Authority, you've been building this momentum and building this momentum and building this momentum. It's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna freeze like this. You know, you're going up and up, and you're hitting a ceiling if you put Robert Stone in charge. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, guys, that is about it from us. If you have made it this far on the stream, go ahead and give us a follow so you can get notified whenever we go live. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to chat with us, go ahead and join our Discord server. We talk about wrestling, video games, all kinds of stuff. If you want to help support us, press that donate button in the About Me section. That is about it. I am Telfari.
I'm CK.
I'm Knight Rider. Good night.
See ya.
See ya.